pretty well. You adjust the chat here. But anyways, it's first Monday Night Football game of the year. I'm actually sitting out in front of my job right now. Let me get this adjusted just a little bit. That's good enough. I'm sure it's good enough. Anyways, first Monday Night Football game of the year, Jets and 49ers. This is a big game, mostly in my opinion for the Jets. Less so for the 49ers, I believe. If the 49ers lose, I don't think this really changes anything in their world. Obviously, it would just be a loss. They don't want a loss. But I don't think it changes much. As far as for the Jets, though, this is a huge deal. If the Jets come in here and get blown out, then everyone's going to be like, uh-oh, this ain't working. Aaron Rodgers passed his prime, all this kind of stuff. He's obviously past his prime. Aaron Rodgers is 40 years old. He hasn't played football in a year and a half. That's another thing, is that people forget that he's been out of football now for a year and a half minus 4 plays. 4 plays. Now, he's had 2 spring trainings. What's up, Patty? How are you, buddy? But yeah, I just think that this one's going to be interesting. So one of the things when I was looking at the lines in this game is the first half line is the Jets plus 3.5, and the full game line is the Jets plus 4. So that's a really weird setup for the way the bet would fall. What they're saying is that they think the second half is going to get played evenly, and the first half the 49ers are going to be a little better. So I took that first half, Jets plus 3.5. I just think that's a weird way to put that line. And I'm basically playing off of the handicappers in that sense, off of the Vegas handicappers there. The reason is let's be honest, they're good at what they do, right? Vegas handicappers are the best handicappers in the world for the most part. I know a lot of those handicapping groups, they all help each other. There's a lot involved in that. But in this case, it's just it's a weird way to put that line. Why isn't it 2.5 and 2.5, or 2.5 and 1.5, or, why is it 3.5 and then the second half was 0.5? So I just thought it was really odd. Plus, in this game, I like the field goal kickers. So if you're betting props, the field goal props are not great juice, but over 1.5 field goals made for each guy. It's Zuerlein and Moody. These defenses are probably going to dictate that a few field goals get tried in this game on each side. I think them are pretty easy bets to hit. A lot of times when you get situations where the teams are going to kick field goals, for example, betting Pittsburgh's field goal kicker is probably a good bet all year long, right? They're not going to score touchdowns a lot, but their defense is good, so they're going to get a lot of tries, and they're going to kick a lot of field goals. Yesterday, they kicked 5 field goals, or maybe 6 field goals. 5 or 6 field goals. They didn't score any touchdowns, all field goals. So, and, Pittsburgh's going to be that way. Other teams that are going to be similar to that, I think, are the Jets. They're going to be I don't think the Jets are going to score nearly as many touchdowns as you might think, but their defense is good, so they're going to keep them in positions. And then you got the other aspect, the teams that can kick really long field goals, right? The Ravens, the Bengals, the Chiefs. They have the guys that they're going to try 60-yarders. The Cowboys guy. So the field goal prop a lot of times, guys, in a lot of games is one of the best props to bet. Over 1.5 field goals made for whichever kicker you choose. It's just a very good bet to bet a lot of times because it's common, right? Happens a lot, almost every game. Another bet that we're back on as a group in my Discord group is the primetime interception props. So you bet all the primetime quarterbacks throw an interception. So at this point right now, up until this game for the primetime games, which would be Thursday, Friday, Sunday night, and this one, 5 out of the 6 quarterbacks threw an interception. The only one that didn't throw an interception was Lamar Jackson. All the rest of them threw a pick. So Mahomes threw an interception. Both Goff and Stafford threw interceptions. and both Hurts and Love threw interceptions. Tonight, Aaron Rodgers isn't known for throwing interceptions. You know, he'll go through a whole season and have 4 or 5 interceptions. So he's probably not the best play, but to be consistent with this play, you'd want to bet them all. This game, actually, personally, I think there's a chance that both guys don't throw a pick. I do think there's a chance of that. But most likely, at least one of them will. There's so many ways to throw an interception, right? A tip ball at the line, a deep Hail Mary, you know, just a bad pass, you know, receiver bats it up in the air, it bounces off his hands. I mean, there's so many ways to throw a pick and generally quarterbacks throw the ball between 20 and 30 to 40 times. That's that many chances for every game times 2. So again, keep in mind that betting that this interception prop for the primetime games last year came off at like 75% of the time, and a lot of times you get them at plus money or real close to even money. So there's that's a really good play. That's something that my Discord group and I do. It's just a really consistent play. So if you guys are involved in that, or if you want to be on my Discord, just send me an email at widgermethis@gmail.com and I'll send you an invite. I put a lot more bets on there than I do online, because a lot of times they're in the middle of the day and this stuff that I'm seeing, live bets on the games. And so I put out my thought processes on that. Just different ways that I like to bet. And there's a bunch of other guys that do the same thing on there, that handicap all kinds of different things. We have a guy that goes by Mercs, and he has this thing called the Mercs Parlay, and guys follow it on there, or ladies. We have some ladies on there as well. But anyways, you guys just enjoy it. I think my Discord is an enjoyable Discord. Keep in mind, I will kick you out if you're a jerk. I only kick 2 people out, but I definitely will. It took a long time before I did it. I tried to give them as many chances as I could. I did. But anyway, so back to this Monday Night Football. I think that there's all kinds of reasons to like the 49ers to win the game. And I think there's all kinds of reasons to like the over. It's 43. My deal is I know both defenses are perceived as really good. But even really good defenses play 27-20 games. And let me explain why. The Chiefs and the Ravens just played a 27-20 game. And they're both really good defenses, right? So the Cowboys and the Browns just played, well, however much the Cowboys scored and the Browns scored. And they're both really good defenses. So just because it's good defenses doesn't mean that the game will go under. Generally, what causes unders is a lopsided game where only one team's going to score and the other team really isn't going to do anything, or a game where both offenses are bad. It's not that the defenses are good that usually causes unders. It's usually that the offenses are bad. For example, New England and Cincinnati. I know everyone wants to think Cincinnati's offense is so great, but the reality of the situation is they're actually just mediocre. And year in and year out, they've just been mediocre. Jamar Chase has been great. That's who's been great. But the offense as a whole has been middle of the pack. So again, you want to look at, it's not the defenses as far as the defense's quality as good. Let me try to figure out what I'm saying. 2 good defenses don't inherently mean an under, is what I'm trying to say. Because many times it goes over because of the defenses, because they get an interception, because they get a turnover, because they flip field position. Shut that shit up, Chump 24. Dislike button. Huh? I don't really know what that is. Whoever put that is an idiot. Whoever put that is an idiot. So anyway, I don't really know. I've never had something like that happen. I don't care what your political affiliation is. Okay, great. Don't listen then. So I don't care what anyone's political affiliation is. It has nothing to do with football. It has nothing to do with me. I'm talking about the Jets and the 49ers. That's what I'm talking about. So you might have went to the wrong channel. So leave. No one is keeping you here. Leave. No one cares. Uh, it's kind of comical. It's almost silly. Uh, where's the Harris people? You bring the Harris people in too. I'm not anybody's supporter. I'm a felon. I can't even vote. uh, I don't care. This is kind of comical. I'll be honest, guys. I don't care who you support as a candidate. It doesn't matter to me. Everyone is entitled to all their own opinions on that. It's the same thing with football. I don't care if you're a Cowboys fan or a Patriots fan or a Raiders fan. Whatever you want to be a fan of it. I mean, every team needs fans. Similar to every political party needs supporters. It's the way of the world. It doesn't matter to me in one way or the other. uh, oh, that's funny stuff. But anyways, back to the game. I'm a communist. Okay, I'll be whatever you want me to be. I'll be. I'm fine with that. What I am is a sports handicapper and a craps player and a craps teacher. That's what I am. And I'm a wastewater tech. That's what I do at my job, my real job that I'm sitting at in the parking lot. Um, this is kind of funny, but anyway, I don't. It doesn't matter to me what people say about me like that, because I've never voted for the president one day in my life. I've been a felon since I was 19. But anyways, what's up, Corn Pop? Robo, University of Hawaii shirt. Yeah, that's right. Googs sent me this. I don't know if you guys know Googs 50. Googs gave me these. Gives my whole family Hawaii stuff. Appreciate it. Gotta love the Hawaiians, man. If you are into gambling and you are into craps, the Hawaiian people are amazing as far as that world goes, and they're amazing just as far as their world goes. One of the biggest things that we have going for us as a people is the Hawaiian people, man. The Americans that see. I'm going to give my opinion on this, and it may be totally off base or wrong or whatever, but it's my opinion. Hawaiians allowed us to claim them as Americans. They don't have to. Hawaiians were their own people. They were all their own thing. They allowed the American people to claim them. They can tell us no. What are we going to do? They're Hawaiian people. They have their own islands. I mean, I love the Hawaiian people. They're amazing. Amazing group of people. So, gotta love them, man. They're the coolest people. But yeah, no, I get a kick out of it. Yeah. What I'm getting at, I'm just talking about as like from a cultural standpoint, they allowed us to call them Americans. I mean, they're their own people. So, I love them. Love the Hawaiians, man. I love everybody in the group, especially the craps group of Hawaiian people. There's a couple like little factions of them, but they're all Hawaiian people. They're all great. I love those guys. Oh, you're taking it to a different thing that I never. So it's up to 4.5, Robo. I don't want to lay any points in this game. I don't want to lay any points at all. I do like San Francisco to win the game. I like the plus 3.5 at the first half. I like the Jets. So the Jets plus 3.5 in the first half. In the first half, I think that's the best bet. as far as I don't think the game's going to spread out a whole lot. So you can get the Jets plus 3.5 in the first half. But for the game, if I'm just picking a winner, I think that the San Francisco 49ers will win the game. See, I bet it at 43. What are you seeing it at? Is it went up some? I bet the over at 43. I don't see 43. 43. Yeah, I bet the over at 43. I like the over, but I like the over because I think this 43 is like a score like 24-20, 23-21. What are you seeing now? What does it went up to now? I bet this bet at 4 hours ago. You don't see the Jets scoring? That's a possibility. I mean, it's the 49ers have a defense. There's no doubt about that. They're gonna. I mean, that's a real possibility. It could go that way. I'm not discounting either thing there. I just think that it'll creep its way over that number, similar to the way the over got there with Baltimore and the Chiefs, because it was 46.5, right? 46.5, and it eventually got over. It eventually got to 47. It took all game, but it eventually got there. That's kind of how I see this 43 getting got. I think it eventually gets there. Like, here's an example. Could the game get to 20-20? I think that's a real possibility. This game, at one point in time, gets to 20-20. Well, if it gets to 20-20, the 43 is going to at least tie. You know, and that's where I'm at. Actually, from what I've seen at the beginning of this season, for sure, is that the offenses and stuff, as just a whole, over across the board, have struggled early in the game. Why do you say that? Because I'm not laying the points with the 49ers. I took the money line. 20-30. That's very reasonable. That's a very reasonable deal. Very reasonable. Another bet, if you're looking at a different prop, I like the field goal kickers prop. I like betting both field goal kickers over 1.5 field goals. I said that at the beginning of the video, but it was right at the beginning of the video. So, but I like both field goal kickers. I see where you're coming from there, and that definitely makes sense. But I took the Jets plus 3.5 in the first half. And the reason I did that is because it didn't make sense to take the 4 for the whole game if you're getting 3.5 in the first half to me. So it made a lot more sense to take the 3.5 in the first half. And so that's why I did there. And then I took the 49ers just on the money line, and I parlayed that with the over. Because I wanted to knock some of the juice down, and I was going to bet the over anyway. So, but I think the 49ers are going to win the game. So what I heard about Ayuk is that he's definitely not going to have a full load. Yeah, McCaffrey TD is definitely, I think I saw it at minus 180. This is going to sound insane, but that's a good number for McCaffrey. Minus anything under 2-1 on him, anything under minus 200 is a good McCaffrey number because he scores a touchdown a game. So really any number under 200. What's up, Big Kahuna? Is a good bet in my opinion on McCaffrey, at least from what we've seen in the last couple of seasons from him in San Francisco. So yeah, what's up, Fuzz? Yeah, that's definitely something that you want to bet that McCaffrey. In my opinion, if you bet the McCaffrey touchdown, you got to bet it every game. If you're going to bet it game one, bet it every one of them. So I also like Conklin over 3.5 receptions Aaron Rodgers likes to use tight ends. And you throughout his history, if you look back, he uses a lot of tight ends. He throws the ball to the tight end, and it's over 3.5, and you're getting plus money on it, like plus 110, 115. The problem is I've never seen Aaron Rodgers play as a Jet. That's the problem. So I haven't got on it yet. But I do think that's Conklin's receptions are going to go. I think Conklin will probably have a career high in receptions this year because Aaron Rodgers likes to throw the ball to the tight end. As far as the interceptions, Fuzzy, this is the primetime game that if you're going to not play him, this is the one. Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. Throughout his career, he averages like 4 or less a year. So he's not the best bet to throw interceptions. Purdy last year didn't throw a lot of interceptions. Yeah, last night was a great. The primetime interception prop last year was like 75%. So far this year, the only one that didn't throw a pick was Lamar in the primetime games, the Thursday, Friday, and Sunday game. The only one that didn't throw a pick was Lamar. I agree. I don't really like it tonight either. I don't like the interception props tonight. Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw interceptions really. That doesn't mean he won't. But if you look back at his history, every year he throws like 4 picks for the whole year. That's not good odds saying we're going to get one tonight. And so I'm going to trust that he's still that same guy, that he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. And I don't really think Purdy throws a lot of picks either from just the way I've seen him play. Even though this year in training camp, they said that he threw a whole bunch of interceptions, but it's training camp. It's not the game. The real game, they get more conservative. They do more, ball, field position stuff. I don't know. I don't think this is the night to bet it. That's what I'll say. If you do bet it and it hits, fantastic. Good for you. But I just don't think it's the right night to bet it. I didn't bet it. So, but I like the Conklin over 3.5. So, I like the over 3.5 receptions for Conklin. I've just seen Aaron Rodgers use them tight ends like crazy. But again, I've never seen Aaron Rodgers play as a Jet. I saw him play 4 plays, and really it wasn't even. He handed the ball off and stuff. It wasn't even like real football for 4 plays. So really kind of curious. There's more angles to this game though. This is Saleh versus Shanahan as well. So Saleh should know Shanahan pretty well, and Shanahan should know Saleh pretty well, which in a lot of ways you'd think would lead to lower score. And because I'm thinking that, I'm kind of going contrarian here. I think you got to click that little bell. But I go live, so I'm going to go live every Wednesday from here on out. Wednesdays with Wager, and give out my plays that I like. Again, if you watched last week's show, it's going to be just the same. This Monday night thing, I just decided to do that today on my way to work. But maybe I'll do it every Monday night for every Monday Night Football too. Maybe that's a good idea. But yeah, so my YouTube channel is very sporadic. Except for this Wednesday thing, it's going to be consistent. And now I think I'm going to do a Monday thing now. But anyways, that's where I'm at on that. If you and you can join my Discord. The Discord is the easiest way to interact with me, really. And there's quite a few other guys on there that bet. So that's where it's at. I gotta see what time it is. I gotta go in at 5:47. All right. Gotta work tonight. I work days and nights, which is kind of weird, but what is Discord? Oh, yeah, it's like a chat app. It's its own server. You download Discord, and then I would have to give you a link to my specific Discord, and you'd be on there with me and all the other guys that get on there with me. And we use it for sports betting. We bounce sports betting stuff off each other, tell each other what we're playing, giving, different parlay strategies and different, just all from all over the world too. We have guys that do European soccer that live in Europe. They know all these local teams around there that you can play. So the Discord server's cool. But you got to download the app. It's Discord, and then Whenever you do all that, just send me an email to wagermethis@gmail.com. Wagermethis, all one word, @gmail.com, and I will send you an invite to the Discord server. Then you just join up. There's nothing, it don't cost nothing, there's none of that. It's just a group of guys that all like to sports bet, and there are some girls all like to sports bet on there, and they give out information to each other, and they keep up with sports. And there's guys in Chicago and in New York and in Texas and in Hawaii and California, and so you get an idea. If you want to know what the weather's like in Chicago for a game, you can just ask the guy in Chicago, so instead of having to rely on stuff. Canadians, yeah, we got the Canadian hockey guys. So it's a great group. It really is a great group. You got the guys, a couple guys from Colorado. I mean, it's a really good group. Email, okay, it's wagermethis@gmail.com. All one word. For whatever reason, I can't chat on here. I thought I could, or maybe I just don't know how to do it. Yeah. Someone type it for Fuzzy, type it for him. But yeah, so that's, you send me an email, I'll get you a Discord invite, and you just join up. And it's all free, guys. I don't charge anybody for anything anymore. I decided I didn't like that after last year. I just didn't like, I'm going to be 100% honest, I didn't like charging people for my information that I would rather just give them for free. So I quit. I quit charging. Just give it out for free. It also puts less pressure on me to grind it out every day. And that was getting hard for me to do, especially with my kids' sports. But I far prefer to just give it out for free. All right, it'll be about 30 minutes before I get into work and get all settled, and then I'll send you the link. But I have to do it from in there because I can't do it while I'm live right here. But anyways, guys, so just to recap, these are what I have bet tonight. This is my actual bets that I have bet tonight. I bet both field goal kickers over 1.5 field goals made. So they have to make 2 field goals, not just kick 2 field goals. They have to make them. What's up, McFly? Happy football season. So I have both field goal kickers bet. I bet the Jets plus 3.5 for the first half only. So the first half, I have them plus 3.5. And then I bet the 49ers and the over 43 parlayed. That's what I have bet. I haven't decided if I'm betting this Conklin bet over 3.5. That's the one undecided bet I have. I'm thinking about it while we're doing this show here, and when I hang up on the show with you guys, I'm going to decide whether I'm going to put it in or not. I want to see the Jets play. I wish I had seen the Jets play as this group, and I would know. Aaron Rodgers has a habit of basically focusing on one receiver for a whole season, and it's kind of why Devontae Adams became real big. He has this habit of just kind of focusing on one guy, and that worries me a little bit. But I do like it. Over 3.5 receptions, the tight end at plus money. I'm trying to buy it right now. I'm just not sure. But like I said, the other 4 bets are where I'm at in this game. So hopefully it'll end the day good. It's always fun. Another thing, Corn Pop is on the Discord. I do live plays. Mahalo, man. I do live plays. And so like yesterday, I kept betting the Rams as that line went up. I bet them at 6.5, then 9.5. And I just kept betting them as that line kept going up because I thought the Rams were going to stay in the game. I actually thought the Rams were going to win. They obviously didn't in overtime, but so then there are other things I do. A lot of times live betting, you can find angles, right? There's like yesterday, if you were watching the New Orleans Carolina game and after you saw the first play of Carolina, you should have been all over New Orleans, right? You should have been all over New Orleans. The second you saw Bryce Young's first drop back throws an interception, you should have just piled on New Orleans, even though I was already on New Orleans from the Wednesday show and I told everyone that was my favorite bet. the second you see that the first play of the game, and you already know that one team's better than the other team at -4, you should have just loaded it all up, right? Yeah, Carolina's in trouble. Carolina, you can't trade away all your best players. You can't trade away McCaffrey, Burns, Moore. You can't trade them all away and then go get a rookie quarterback and expect to be good. You just can't do that. That's not going to work. And that's what they've done. And I know they got a bunch of picks for him and stuff, but they also lost picks when they got the Bryce Young thing because they traded up to get him, right? It's just a mess. Carolina's a mess. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Carolina doesn't end up somewhere else pretty soon. Like if they don't end up sold to San Antonio or something. That's right. Yeah, Houdat would look good, man, against Carolina. The one thing too is when you're playing a bad football team, you got to smash them, right? If you're playing a bad football team and you barely win, that's not a good sign. You're playing a bad football team, you got to kick their teeth in. I mean, they'll win some games because teams always win. It's very rarely they go undefeated. But this Carolina team looks like they might only win 1 or 2. But they'll find a way to win somewhere. There's always a day where, you know, someone gets hurt or something happens, or you have a couple kick returns, or there's just always a weird outcome, you know. Cleveland looks rough too, yeah. If I was Cleveland's defense, I would beat up Cleveland's offense. If I was their defense, I would go in the locker room and beat up the offense because, gosh, that was terrible. Even though I was on the Cowboys in the game, it was just bad. It was just a bad showing by them. Anyway, I got to go to work, guys. I got to go into work. Yeah, Deshaun he's gone. He's in trouble. They gave him all that money, but that money isn't looking so bad now. As these contracts have went up, that money actually doesn't look terrible if Deshaun was good, right? If Deshaun was a good quarterback, $43 million a year now is on the lower end of it. But he's not a good quarterback, so there you go. Daniel Jones makes the same amount of money, by the way. There you go. Anyways, guys, thank you for your time. Y'all have a great day.